the Mostly Legal podcast, a show where we take a closer look at the people and companies that help law firms operate. I'm Amanda Copeless, the executive director of a mid-sized law firm based in Central Florida. If you're a frequent listener of our show, you know that there are a lot of laughs and sometimes tears, but I've never laughed until I've cried. Until this week. Alan and Rich Wilson are a dynamic father and son duo who are well known in the legal industry. Alan is famous for his finger-pointing group selfies, his huge laugh, and his infinite knowledge of employee benefits. Well, that, and he's Rich's dad. Rich is known for his great head of hair, his ever-present camera, and being Alan's son. But I bet you didn't know that they both love Halloween. I mean, they really love Halloween. If you usually listen to the audio-only version of this podcast, I strongly recommend you pop over to YouTube and search for the Mostly Legal podcast channel. There's at least one part you're going to have to see to believe. Before we get started, I want to thank our sponsor, Centerbase, software built to power mid-sized law firms. Rob Joyner and I are so excited to talk to Alan and Rich. Let's dive in. We're going to start with Alan Wilson. He is the program director, the national program director at GLJ Benefit Consultants. If you are in the legal industry or near the industry or heard of the legal industry, you have heard of Alan Wilson. So I will not give him a further introduction.
That's pretty good, Alan.
Heard of, for sure. Maybe a couple of good things.
I didn't say that.
That's a
I
maybe.
didn't say that. I said heard of good things. Some good things. I mean, there are some good things about you, Alan. I don't have to go through all of them. That's what this whole podcast is about. You're going to tell us the few good things. Okay. Now we're going to talk to Alan's son. Although I was told previously that you're Rich's dad. Is that really the way I should introduce you, Alan, is Rich's dad?
Oh,
absolutely.
That's 100%. Definitely what I'm known for now. Oh, you're Rich's dad, right?
Absolutely.
Yes, I am.
So Rich is the founder and entrepreneur at Vibe Media, and he speaks on content, and he is my awesome content guru, and you're going to help us get so many hits and likes and clicks and things for this recording, right?
Thanks.
Absolutely.
Engagement.
It's all about engagement.
Is this when you plug that we're on YouTube as well?
We are on YouTube.
Yes, we are on YouTube.
Because
I mean, you're talking to a video guy, right?
I'm talking to a video guy.
Of course,
That's
I'm
right.
gonna have the lights. I'm gonna have the sound. I'm gonna have the different camera angles
Oh
as
my
well.
gosh, look
So
at this.
of course. So
Okay. Thank you guys both for joining us. We're going to let Rob, I gave him plenty of advance notice, ask the first question.
Okay.
There's going to be questions. Wait a minute. I was told there would be no questions.
yeah.
There's going to be plenty of questions.
I thought this
I
was
mean,
I've got
our
plenty for you.
time.
Are you my attorney or am I your attorney?
Yeah, right.
How's that work? Okay. All
Well,
right,
this is
Senator,
perfect.
go ahead.
Yeah,
This is perfect.
should we start out by saying that this communication does not constitute an attorney-client relationship in any way, given that there's no attorneys and no clients in any way?
Thank goodness.
How have you guys made working together as father and son? How does that work for you guys? What have been the great parts that have come out of it, and maybe the challenges?
I just put him in a corner asking for money.
Yeah.
So, Rob, what he's telling us is
that's
things never change. That's what our
pretty
children are
much
going to be
the
doing
way
to us.
it works. Is it okay if I take that one?
Yep, absolutely.
I would say that working with Rich, it's been a dream of mine. It has. That dream is a nightmare. But no, it kind of goes in and out. You know, one of those dreams that you have in the morning, and you have it, and then you go, man, I can't remember it. Yeah, so no. I would say that the way that we created this and the way that Rich has, taken off and things have really started happening there, for Vibe Media, he's helped our group tremendously. Watching that maturation process over the last 7-8 years has been really great. And working as a father-son, a lot of people don't know that. But people that do, I think it's great. But for me, honestly, and I don't want to start out on a, oh, I love you, son, but, it's a dream of a lifetime. It is,
We're going to be in a big glass case of emotion here.
Oh,
it
my
is.
gosh.
I am.
Okay, well, Alan, you have 4 children. Are the other 3 clamoring to work with you?
Absolutely not.
No. Rich
yeah.
is shaking his head no.
Yeah. Absolutely not.
Vehemently no.
You know,
No.
and I don't even think Rich is clamoring to work with me. I think that, look, there's definitely some days where it's like, okay, go to your room. And he's, and well, I don't live here anymore. And I go, well, you might as well. And he's like, well, I don't. And I go, well, then just go home to your wife then.
I will.
Yeah.
But then he's going to have
honestly, I think
from
it's
you.
just been a great experience for me to be able to do this with my dad. It's an idea that I've always had. Actually, growing up, I wanted to be an actor.
Oh yeah.
And I went to school acting. I went to school at Southern Utah University, which is kind of like the mecca for like Shakespeare. They host the Utah Shakespeare Festival there. They have tons and tons of theater there. But I really fell in love with like the behind the scenes when I was there. Yeah, I know.
You guys are just going to have to watch this
is
episode
terrible.
on
You're
YouTube.
You're going to have to watch the
Yeah,
episode
you really
because
will.
Rich is Alan is just making all of these jokes. Like he basically has made you out to be Leonardo DiCaprio in the Claire Danes version.
Although I do date, my wife is over the age of 25, so I think I'm okay there. So I'm not exactly Leo.
I thought the internet got him up to at least 27 at this point.
Right.
Sorry,
Well,
did I see
even
that?
then, yeah, but it's been really great. I haven't done video in years. I did stupid videos in high school. Like get the family camcorder, run out, and
In high school.
Did you have a Vine account?
I did not, but my brother had, and
I did.
yeah.
Oh my God.
Like I watched a lot of Vines,
Alan,
and
was yours just you pointing at a bunch of different things?
yes, yeah. It was just a lot of. It
was actually my Vine account. My Vine account was, it's time to burst, and I'd be in public places, and I would show people, and I go, ah, and people would turn around, and it's time to burst.
Oh yeah.
Oh! Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm dying.
It's great in shopping malls, or like if you're in Walmart and there's nobody on your aisle, you can burst really, really loud. It's called bursting, and you burst really loud, and then you go, "What in the world was that?"
Alan, what's it called? It's called what?
Bursting.
Bursting.
Yeah.
What?
Burst like a
Maybe at
bursting.
the annual
It's like
conference last
popping
year.
a balloon, bursting a balloon.
Yeah.
You should do this around the ALA conference, annual
He does.
conference next year.
Actually,
you already
I
do
have.
it.
Yeah. He does. Like his favorite spot to go bursting is actually in Vegas, right there between Bally's and Paris. There's like this big dome, right?
Yeah.
That you like walk right through between the both of them, and he just does it, and it just reverberates throughout the entire area.
Yeah, lobbies of hotels are the best.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
And if you're with him, all you have to do, you don't react. You just keep walking, because you would be on the floor laughing and people would be like, oh, it's just a stupid joke. I just keep walking like, oh, yeah, that's Dad. His Tourette's is acting up again.
What was the question again?
Right. How's working?
Amanda tears up.
This is how we work.
Pretty much how we work.
This is how we work.
I've lost control of the show.
I know.
It's done.
What is
Like
it?
we're not even.
I told you, this is going to go off the rails. We could literally be here for hours.
Rob likes structure, guys, and you're making him.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Rob.
Now.
Okay.
Sorry, Rob.
He's like,
Reel it
I
back
have
in.
all my
Reel it back
questions
in.
written down,
Yeah.
and none of these are on the
Okay.
sheet of paper that I'm trying to ask you.
Overall, it's been a great experience to be able to do this with my dad and to build this. And also, he's been able to stare at me. And luckily, he doesn't do this day to day, because it would be a problem, because this is very much my business. And he lets me run my business how I see fit. And I really do value his experience, his wisdom on all of the other ventures that he has done. And I just love you so much, Dad.
I love you, son.
But it's been a great experience, and to not only be able to have that.
I can't eat corn no
Oh
more,
gosh.
but I love you.
I am dead. Like I'm dead, guys.
Amanda
I'm
tears
worthless.
up on a lot of episodes, but I think this is the first. Season 3 is the first I've seen her lose control over tears of joy and laughter.
I mean, this is what you get
Not
when you
joy.
ask,
I would
ask
not
for
call
us.
it
I'll
you
tell
wouldn't call this joy? The
I've
smile.
definitely got the giggles, but I would not call it from joy.
It's called silliness. She's being silly.
Okay,
Oh, we're definitely being silly.
Rich,
Yes.
I'm going to have you answer this question.
Okay.
What is with your dad's pointing problem when he takes pictures?
You know what? It is something that I don't know. He started it like 10 years ago, and it's something that he just like loves to do. And it's just kind of been his thing where he goes around, he understands like social media, people got like catchphrases or like whatever. He's got pointing. And it's just something that he just started doing. And now it's just things that people expect him to do it. Actually, there is a few times where he goes to like law firms or other businesses and they're like, hey, so are we going to do the pointing picture? He's like, yes. It's so popular that even other people have adopted it, like Chris O'Sullivan from Boston, from the Gesmer group there in a law firm there. He's adopted it. That is literally his profile picture on their website is him just pointing.
I was at a music festival over the weekend.
Oh, I saw you on social.
And I got to meet Michael McDonald. We did a picture and I went,
You pointed right at him.
Oh,
with the
yeah.
And he
picture.
pointed.
Here he was.
He does the point.
Yeah.
He does the point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
does the
anybody
point.
who's ever been in an Alan picture has been pointed at in one way or another.
Oh my
Which
gosh.
it's just like if you scroll through, like in one picture, it's whatever. But if you have if you've looked at his entire social media catalog and there are 200 photos and he's pointing in every one, you finally get the joke. Like
It's that or the ALA cheer.
Well.
oh, that's on our list.
Oh, good.
my
Spoiler
gosh.
alert.
Good.
We'll
Okay.
come back
All
to the
right.
I'm
ALA
jumping
cheer.
ahead.
Yikes.
Robbie.
I don't even know what to say. I'm like flipping my paper back and forth,
It's like, where do I go? Where do
You're
I
trying
trying
to see
to
if there's
decide
any
where
questions on
to
there.
go from here.
Here's how this goes. You guys do the ALA cheer, and that will give
no.
Rob time to formulate an actual substantive question to ask
Oh
you
my
when
God.
you're
Okay,
done with the
explain
ALA
the ALA cheer and how did it start with you?
Okay, so back in the day when I worked for another corporation, we had a morning cheer that we adopted. It was at a company called McLean Company, and I kind of ended up being the guy that would always have to do the cheer because
I wonder why.
I wonder why.
Well, I was
You're
the
such a
loudest.
wallflower.
I was the loudest for some reason. Anyway, so
Whoa. Things
that's
changed.
awful. Anyway, so I got a chance to go up on stage with the first CLI I ever did, and Chapter Leadership Institute with Association of Legal Administrators, and I went up and they said, okay, you got 1 minute, and I was like, that's not going to happen. So I went up and I said, we got to get this group going this morning. I said, so everybody up, and everybody was like, oh, yeah,
We
get
hate
up
that.
and
Oh, I
do this."
hate that.
Oh,
Yeah.
whatever. It's great. From the stage, it's the best thing ever. So to see that. So everybody stood up and I said, okay, we're going to do an ALA cheer. So it's give me an A, give me an L,
L.
give me an A.
A.
What's that spell?
ALA.
What are we going to do? Elevate.
L. I was like, I don't know.
Right? And then I have them do it again, right? So we clap. So I thought it would maybe be a unique way to maybe have people remember my name, so because I had
There's
changed
no way
my
they
name.
could forget you. There's no
Yeah, I
way.
had changed my name to Alan. It used to be Herbert.
Lynn.
And then I started doing a lot of business with the ALA, so I decided to change it to Alan just so I could do the cheer
Yeah.
and people
I
could
mean,
remember my name.
It makes complete sense to me.
Alan, can you give us a little background? How did you get involved with the ALA?
I had joined GLJ Benefit Consultants about 18 years ago, and we had signed, that was back when I was 10, and we had signed
Amanda was 25.
a law firm over in Las Vegas.
That was quick math, Rob.
Yeah. That's
even
good.
know you
I didn't
could
even
math
mean
that
that. Actually, I didn't even
I
know.
was told there'd be no math.
I knew that. I knew that.
No, you didn't. I was like, I didn't think you could math that quickly. So it was just a pure
Wow.
guess.
That's impressive.
Totally.
Yeah, I
Totally.
had it right here. Exactly.
Amanda and I are on the same wavelength,
No.
too.
Boom. Boom.
Okay, keep going,
So,
Alan.
It was in
ALA.
a conversation with an administrator in a law firm, actually in Las Vegas, Nevada. And I asked for a referral, to maybe some other law firms. And she said, oh, I think she looked at me in the eye and she went, you want to do law firms? And I said, yes. She said, you know what? I can get you involved with law firms in a big way if you'd like. At that time, she was president of the Las Vegas chapter and president of Region 6, back when there were regions.
Mm-hmm.
So she spent an hour telling me about ALA, which I had no idea anything about ALA. And she put together a really cool letter of recommendation for us. And we engaged with ALA, with the executive director back at that time, John McCulloch. And he called me during the Texas USC Rose Bowl, which I still haven't, I'm still not over it. But
No, he's not.
He called me on New Year's Day, and he was like, hey, this is John McCulloch. What are you doing, Alan? And I go, I'm watching the Rose Bowl like everybody else in America. What are you doing? And he said, I love what you guys have put together here. And we had put a program together. And he said, I'd like to talk to you. And that's how we formulated the VIP, Value and Partnership VIP program for ALA. That's how we got it going. He said, I'd love to help build this together. It was just really great. It was a really cool fit. And I asked John one time, I said, why did you pick a little small brokerage company in Mesa, Arizona? Why would you pick us to help you realize this vision of creating this business partner program? And he said, I actually have an answer for that. He said, I had talked with people all over the country, brokers, agents, salespeople that always said to me, hey, if we put together a program, would you be interested? He said, and I always said yes. And he said, we never heard from them again. He said, you came to us and said, I have a program. Are you interested? And he said, that was the magic. That was what was different. He said, if you never go away from that recipe, he said, you'll be able to continue to do it. And it's been very successful for us. And we've just been honored to be part of ALA for a long time.
Alan, you talked about this some at CLI back in July, but I always love bringing this topic up. You've been involved for 18 years with the ALA. Continuing to get the engagement from vendors is a big topic that ALA always brings up. What kind of suggestions do you have for members? How do they engage with vendors? How do they keep us coming back?
I really believe that it's important for members to remember that it's okay to say no.
I know.
Yeah.
And Amanda, she's really good at it.
I'm going to give a master class in hanging up on vendors.
No. Yeah, here's you. I'd like to talk to you about, here's me.
No.
You don't even get that far with Amanda.
How about no? Yeah, so I would say that it's important for members to remember that the business partners that are coming to annual conferences or coming to conferences or who are attempting to discuss what it is that we offer, that those are resources for them. The really good business partners become a resource and not just a solution. Mm-hmm. And they talk to members in a certain way of, look, it doesn't matter what size you are, we're going to talk to you. And we hope that members then pick up on that, and business partners, I think, really just hope that there's an opportunity to build a relationship, and we're not looking to just, cram something down your throat that you don't need, because that doesn't do anybody any good. And it's a two-way street, because business partners have to remember to respect the member, and the members, we love it when they come over and engage with us. And sometimes we don't even talk about business.
No.
It just happens organically. And that's really playing the long game when you're in the sales game, the relationship game is hard to do, but it's the most profitable.
So, Rich, give us some free resources and tell us what you've been up to.
Free resources. And what I've been up to? Well, we have been going all in on learning more and more about social media. Like, we're a video production company. We help brands build to an influencer level online presence using filmmaking tools and tips to tell their story online, kind of building up that online presence. And we do that through online imagery, with photography, video production, social media strategy, because we know that that's the current state of the internet.
Mhm.
And that's what we're trying to do now, is like we're shifting everybody's mind from like the marketing that has been going strong, or the old marketing tactics that have been good in the past are starting to filter off. Like nobody is really looking at pamphlets anymore. The billboards still work, but it's not very engaging when you just see a billboard, right? The current state of the internet is social media right now. That's how people interact. That's how people engage. That's how people entertain themselves. That's how they educate themselves. YouTube, the number two search engine of all the internet. Number two
Really?
search engine of all the internet
Hey,
is
we're
YouTube.
live on YouTube.
Yep, and
Which
here we
Rob
are.
didn't know about until 3 days ago.
TikTok is TikTok number one.
No,
No,
Google would
number
be
one is
number
Google.
one.
So you've
Oh,
got
I'm
Google.
sorry.
Yeah, so you've got Google, and number two search engine is YouTube. Now, YouTube in the video realm is number one. Then you've got Instagram and TikTok, but TikTok is right up on the heels of Instagram and YouTube, and that's mostly because you've got 1.5 billion active users per month on TikTok. Short form video, a video content that is 60 seconds or less, is becoming the norm on how people are learning and educating themselves, entertaining themselves in short form content, and having little pieces like nuggets of content that really is engaging really helps boost up your brand. I saw a commercial in Vegas. I don't watch TV all that much, like regular TV. I'm all streaming.
Yeah.
Everything, and everybody is pretty much streaming nowadays too, like a lot of people are, right? But I saw a TikTok commercial, and their tagline was, "I learned it on TikTok." That's
Ooh,
what TikTok.
all my Excel. I follow all the Excel.
People are pushing that, hey, I learned it on TikTok. So that's what really we're doing right now, is it's helping educate, helping being that resource for people to understand and navigate the current state of the internet, which is social media. What they need to do as far as content, not just their blog posts, but Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Yes, law firms should get all in on TikTok.
I wake up every morning and I listen to Inky Johnson for 60 seconds. He puts one out every morning. And
Former Mostly Legal podcast guest.
Right.
Absolutely amazing, right? I mean, we've met him. He was great on your podcast. I mean, incredible on your podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And I wake up and I get fired up listening to him for 60 seconds. That's all I need. And that's all the time I have.
Alan, is your TikTok Rich's dad at TikTok?
Yeah, it's Rich's dad at That's My Name.
I bet you could have an entire account that's just Rich's dad.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
like, all right, hey, this is Rich's dad, and this is what I had to go through today with him.
And you're just
It's like,
pointing at things.
here he is working on another video. Oh,
Yeah.
here he is doing this,
Here he is being annoying again.
Rich, when you talk about different kinds of platforms, right? And you can take a single piece of content, make some tweaks to the messaging.
Mm-hmm.
And if you know your different platforms and how people engage with them, you don't have to make that much content to get a pretty big reach cross-platform.
100%. 100%. It is so easy to repurpose your content on so many different platforms. Let's say you've got a blog post that has just gone viral, right? When I say viral, you could have a few hundred to a few thousand or even 100,000 people reading your blog post on a certain subject, and people are absolutely loving it. Well, you could take some of the key phrases and you can just curate some of those and make 5 tweets that have them go back to, for people who haven't read your blog post, they can go back to your blog post. You could actually make that into kind of a script to make a short video about it, like a 2-minute video on that topic. You could make a half a dozen short form videos on that. I just recently did that. We had the Lemonade for Legal show a little while ago, and all of our sessions were recorded. I talked on content marketing with a fantastic team of people on there. I took a lot of those 60-second, 30-second sound bites from myself. I've put them up on my Instagram to kind of boost my personal brand. And that has just kind of helped engagement go up, and people are now seeing me. It sets you apart as a influencer. So repurposing content, you have the content out there. Heck, you could even take like a white paper that you written 10 years ago,
Mhm.
change it up a little bit, kind of make it a little bit modern, and then boom, you've got the content. You just have to like look through it and then just use it.
This is going to get tens and tens of views.
We have dozens of listeners, dozens and dozens.
I,
Rob, can we please start a TikTok? Like just me and you just goofing off. Like it'll be
no,
hilarious. Like
no,
we'd have a
He's like,
dozen
"No."
people
See,
watching.
and here's the
no.
thing: TikTok doesn't always have to be silly. It
See?
absolutely you should do some silly, entertaining content, but people look at content in several different ways. You've got educational content, inspirational content, and entertaining content. Those are the three kind of areas that people consume content online. And so if you curate your content around those three areas, then you're going to tap into the community that's already there.
An easy thing to do: go talk to the person that's answering your phone. Ask him, what are the top 5 questions you get?
100%.
And you can turn those into multiple pieces of content, because a lot of the things that you think everyone knows, people don't know
No,
and find interesting.
absolutely. So, like, if you're a lawyer, you get questions every single day. And most of the time, you get the same questions every single day. If you make, like, let's say, a list of 5, 10, 15, 20, or even 30 videos on that certain subject, and you just write down all the questions and you just do a 2-minute video on each, just answering those questions, what does that do for you?
Makes you an expert in that area.
Absolutely. It makes you an expert in that area. It increases your influence. It helps people trust you, saying, hey, this guy actually knows what he's talking about. She is giving me all the information that I need. And now I'm at an impasse because I need extra help. And I'm going to call this person. It's like, hey, can you help me? Like I've even seen that with one of our clients. She's a elder care law lawyer here in Arizona. And she did a huge number of videos. She did a bio video for her page on their website. And then she did about like 25 different videos, short Q&A answer videos on elder care law. It's like, oh, what's a conservatorship? What's the difference between this and that? And within 18 months, here's your ROI for you. In 18 months, she gained 5 new clients because of the videos.
Okay. Thank you for all the technical stuff. But now let's go to something fun. That was all very helpful, and I really appreciate it.
Her eyes glaze over on marketing.
I know Rob and I were on the same wavelength. It's like, hey, we could geek out on this stuff all day long. Marketing,
Alan and I are
content,
like, kill me on this marketing.
content,
What's marketing?
Content. Okay, I'm throwing Alan a bone here. Alan, you are obsessed with one particular holiday.
Oh, geez.
Oh
yes.
my gosh, how do you know that?
So I don't know how you don't know, if you're anybody who's anybody. You have a little bit of an obsession with Halloween.
There's a sign out front on our palm tree right in front of our yard. Just put up this morning in red crazy letters on this. We always just tear off like a piece of cardboard and nail it to the tree with a skull on it. And it says, "It's coming." So I'll let Rich tell you about that.
Yeah. So I don't know exactly where it started, his obsession with Halloween, but like literally since I was a kid, like we always had just a great Halloween house. It started small, like, little fog machines, some dry ice, and scary music. Like we've got like a cassette tape of like the original Haunted Mansion music from Disney. We have that and we just play it and it's just like, just like Halloween sounds, ghosts, all that. And it goes insane. And we built it over time in the house that my parents live in right now. We've just like built it up to where we've got a gallows outside. We've got a graveyard. We've got torture chambers where people are walking up and they see, it's insane.
You
and we
build
have
a
all this
whole
music.
haunted house.
Yeah, so like out in the front yard, it's insane. And then once they get up to the entryway, here is my dad dressed in this old man mask that he's had since he was like 10 years old, and it is now shaped to his face, and it's creepy. It's creepy. Like when we were kids, it got so popular that kids from the street would want to be a part of it, be ghouls and goblins to scare people. It was always fun. I loved it when I was.
Oh my God.
Here he is. So they walk up and they see this.
You did that really fast.
I don't know. That is the grossest mask I have ever
What are you doing in my house?
He does this for 4 hours on Halloween night.
What do we?
You know, like it has become so popular that Arizona has dubbed this
changed
Halloween
that costume
street.
so fast. Like,
Right?
And we wonder how Rich got into acting.
4 food trucks. And we have 1,500 people showed up last year.
And about 5 kids pee themselves because they were so scared, which is a goal. It's
I'm
a goal.
scared right now.
Make them pee. Make them pee. Make them pee.
Which it's gotten so
Halloween.
it gets so insane that honestly, like even my daughter, I have an 11-year-old daughter, she gets all dressed up in all black. She's got her eye blacked out, and we put her in this room with dolls all over the room where they also have an eye blacked out. And she just sits there and she's just like, "Would you like to play with me?" It's creepy. It's insanely creepy.
Oh, Alan
Did
is
you see
back.
that guy that was just in there?
Yeah, I know. It was
Crazy,
insane,
man.
right?
How'd that guy get in here?
I don't know.
He's in the.
We don't let him out of the dungeon until Halloween night.
So many kids come up and go, "Mr. Wilson, you're such a scary old man on Halloween." I go, "I don't know what you're talking about. I travel on Halloween. I've never been at the house."
So you have 1,500 people that come through your house thing. You have food trucks that set up outside. You don't charge people for this haunted house. This is like out of because we're obsessed with it, and this is just a fun thing to do. And then you're the Halloween house, and it's a destination, right? Like people are. What we're gonna do on Halloween is go see these crazy guys who have set up this doll room torture chamber.
Yeah, we have all of this video, backlit video that goes on. Zombies trying to get out the front, window. Ghosts in every other window, changing into different things. There's more strobe lights than, you can even turn on. There's fog. There's a graveyard. It takes all month to put up for 4 hours of complete bliss.
Yeah, it's insane. And we have
It's
also
only
like
open on Halloween. It's not like one of those things where it's like
you come trick or treat, you come in, you experience the outside. We've got this guy who actually started when he was like 10 years old, and he still comes. He's like, I think his birthday was just the other day, and he's like 25, 26 years old now. And he still comes, and he comes with these really creepy clown outfits.
He comes as a clown.
Really creepy clown.
So is there anything you are afraid of?
Me?
What are you afraid of? Yeah. Alan, what are you afraid of?
Oh.
Not dolls or clowns or torturing or masks that are 20 years old and smell like kid pee.
I got to be honest with you. I don't get afraid of a whole lot. I don't. Yeah,
Waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
I watch scary movies. I watch all kinds of things, and I don't really get. No. I don't get frightened easy.
You get frightened at 5 o'clock in the morning when I get up. When he and I travel together, I'm always up at 5 a.m.
Okay, that's what scares me.
I'm always up at 5 a.m. and I go work out, and then he's just like, "What are you doing?" "I'm gonna go work out." Freak me out.
We start traveling together, right? Okay, room, right? You want the real father and son thing? Okay, so we start traveling together, and it's like, okay, he's like, "Well, am I going to share a room with you?" And I go, "Okay, yeah, share a room. We don't anymore. That doesn't happen."
Good.
So it's like 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, I look over. And he's got his covers over the top of him, and there's this light underneath and he's got like his laptop or something, and he's like working on his laptop. I go, "What are you doing?"
"I'm working."
He goes, "I'm working," and I'm like, "Get dressed and go downstairs and work." Yeah, and he's like, so now it's like, get your own room.
Yeah,
go to your room.
That makes sense.
Although a plus side of traveling together is that I've turned him on to Family Guy.
Oh, yeah.
He never watched it before, but I freaking love that show.
So now we got to watch that right before we go to bed.
Like every time when we go to bed, he's like, is Family Guy on? And we put on an episode or two of Family Guy. We pass out the Family Guy.
Let's go get some cherry turnovers, man, and watch Family Guy. Oh, yeah. Wow. That's mostly legal.
I'm not touching them.
I have one last question before we head into our final segment.
Okay.
Are
we doing this? Is this like, are we been doing the podcast?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I thought this was test day.
Yeah.
Right.
Wait, I have so many more questions, Rob.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead, Amanda.
I do have one question before we get into your serious question. You told me a story about Tournament of the Kings, and you promised me, you started telling it, and you promised me you would tell the rest of the story. And I cannot let you go until I hear this whole story.
Okay, so you've seen and you've listened to this podcast, and you see how crazy we are. And you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, these guys are probably insane when they're drunk. Well, guess what? We don't drink. We don't. We are dialed in at 11
There's
all
literally
the time.
alcohol in my coffee mug right now to tolerate you two.
So we don't drink.
I got to be on with the Wilsons. Give me another shot.
And there is a funny story. When I was a teenager, we were in Vegas at Tournament of the Kings, which is kind of like medieval times.
Oh,
it's a tournament where you see the medieval clashing, and it's a lot of fun.
And you eat a big giant thing of meat. You just hold with your hand.
Yeah. You have big turkey leg, and you've got dragon's breath soup in front of you, and no utensils, because they didn't have utensils in the medieval times.
But they had Pepsi.
So drinking Pepsi is medieval, but okay.
So we come in and we're really excited because we always wanted to do this when we went to Vegas, and we get in the France section.
Okay.
Nobody wants France.
Right in the front.
We're right in the front row. Nobody wants to be in France. And we're just like, man, we're in France. Okay. But then all of a sudden, this guy just starts pounding on the table, and he goes, France, 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 France. And we got our entire section to do it.
So we turned around and we had the whole entire section in the back.
Is insane.
Stand up going, France, France.
We're
France.
banging the mugs on the table, which they then had to go over the PA system.
They had to make an announcement.
Please, therefore, do not slam the mugs onto the table.
Onto those
Thank
tables.
thee. And we're just oh my god!
It was on St. Patrick's Day too.
It was.
Like Ireland was definitely going to win, but we were like totally behind France.
Yeah.
So they had my favorite was when they had King Arthur and Guinevere, and they had the procession, and they walked right in front of the stands. And I got everybody in France. We all stood up and turned our backs to the. They said, "We bow to no king." Oh man!
But it
was great because the actors that were in the thing were laughing.
Oh, they were loving it. They were loving it.
The guy on the horse, the France guy on the horse, kept going by, going.
Oh yeah, we're sitting here thinking the guy's probably going, man, I have to be France tonight, and he just like, and you see him, he starts coming out. You see all the knights and the kings come out, and they're like, oh, Ireland and Denmark and Germany, and everybody's cheering, and they're like, and then he comes out, and then you just see us go, France!
The whole section, man.
And he's
we're
just
doing
like
the wave.
and he'll ride up to us and just go like this. We go, France!
That's crazy.
Yeah, my sister and I, we were sitting there. We were just having a good time, and the two people by us, they're like, "Oh, so your dad's kind of, a little,
sauce,
going down on the sauce." And we're like, "No, this is just him." We're like, "We don't drink. This is just how he is." And they went,
"Go big or go home, man."
The guy absolutely loved it.
But we digress.
Unfortunately, yes. Ireland won because it was St. Patrick's Day.
And we booed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We were a rowdy crowd that night. That was the best.
Okay, sorry. I think Rob had an actual real
Rob does have an actual question. We'll let him ask it.
I lost it.
Thank you, Amanda. Wow.
I lost it.
Wow, that was a good.
Go ahead, Amanda.
Oh my God, this has been so much fun. And I have this list of questions I still have to ask you. But because I know you both talk a lot, and I know you're both going to need more than the 2 minutes we normally allocate for this segment, I am going to go into our final segment, which is called Pitch Your Passion. And you both have big passions. You've already pitched Halloween. Whoever wants to go first can go first, but please tell us, what is it you're passionate about?
Richard, go ahead.
Dang, I was going to say the same thing. I was like, you go ahead. Passion. I would say my biggest passion is just trying to tell stories. Like we all have a story, and that's what I'm really passionate about. That's why I kind of got into video production, is that stories connect us, right? If you go back all the way back to even caveman times, they painted on the cave walls and depicted their histories through story and through art. And through that, we are now connected with them. But stories connect us, and that's what I'm really passionate about. It's something that I've tried to do even in video production when we help other brands, but also what we are doing now. It's a passion project of mine that I want to put together is like a mini documentary series called Tell Your Story, where we travel all over the country to tell stories of people. And like the titles of the episodes would be like the doctor, the barista, the lawyer, the filmmaker. And we get to know that person through their story, and from their story led them to what they're doing now. And what they're doing now is taken them to the next chapter of their life. And then we won't actually even know who they are or really what their name is until at the very end. We get to know them through their stories before anything
I feel like
else.
that sounds something like
That's pretty
something
amazing.
that sounds really familiar.
It's very similar to like People of New York.
Or it's very
Yes.
similar to like a podcast that's dedicated to telling stories of people in a specific industry and how
Hey, Rich, she's bringing it back to herself.
Yes.
I feel like most-
I think what you're
picking
doing
up what she's
is
throwing down.
amazing.
I think
what you're doing
I think what you're
It's
doing
really
kind of
cool.
mostly legal.
It's
Yeah.
a great
Mostly or barely?
idea.
It's mostly,
It's a
not
great
barely.
idea.
I'm going to kind of
wish I knew
swat
someone who had
what
thought
she's
about
saying
that.
to the
So
side. Yeah.
That's a passion project that I've had on paper for years, but I think in the next couple of years we're actually going to pull the trigger and actually do it.
Okay, I'll be on.
The narcissist.
Okay, great episode.
Okay, Rich's dad.
Episode
The
one.
law firm
Okay,
manager.
okay, Rich's dad.
People are
That's good.
really
Yeah,
going to
that's
pay
great.
for this.
Yeah.
Okay, Rich's dad, your turn.
You know, I've heard you guys ask this question, with other guests, and I got to tell you, I have a passion, at least for me personally. I have a passion for life. I have a passion for people. I just love getting to know people and just from different walks of life. And look, I'm passionate about business, and I'm passionate about GLJ, and I'm passionate about, all of these things that we do. They're awesome and they're great and they're wonderful. And we hope that you'll engage with us. But from a personal, question, and I think that that's what it is. I'm just passionate about being together with great people because I learned so much. I've learned so much from each one of you. I've learned a lot from my son, watching my son grow. I learn from him every
He's shaking his
day.
head no.
I'm passionate about music. Music is like air to me.
Music is life to
if
you.
I'm not listening to music some point during my day,
Mostly rock music too.
Yeah.
Like I had some lo-fi music playing in my office one time, and he was like,
dude, you've got to get rid of this.
can we please
I
turn
was
this
like, what are you
off? I'm
doing?
gonna
What
like
is this?
rip my eyes out.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Anyway,
No, it's
so
fantastic,
Yeah.
chill music.
oh, whatever. Yeah, chill. You chill.
I will.
We'll do it.
Okay, then.
Well, Caitlin, chill.
All right.
All right,
Okay.
do it.
I will.
Can we have a little ALA cheer to send us off? But only if Rob participates.
I'll do it. Let's go.
Okay. Should we do a mostly legal cheer? Let's do a mostly legal cheer. I don't know how to spell it, though.
So just do like MLP.
Oh, MLP. Give me an M.
M.
Give me an L.
L.
Give me a
It's not on the
P.
floor.
P.
Well, what's that spell?
Most legal podcast.
Woo! And we love it.
Rich, Alan, it's been a pleasure having you guys today. Thanks for joining us. I think I'm going to go take a nap.
Thank you. We were honored to be here.
This has been fantastic. Thank you so much.
I need some alcohol.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of the Mostly Legal Podcast. If you like what you heard, make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss a single episode.
You can also check us out online on mostlylegalpodcast.com, where you can sign up for our email list, get weekly recaps, and get some of your very own Mostly Legal swag.